Today I'm at the South African Embassy in Washington, D.C. South Africa, of course, is known as one of the three top trading partners of the U.S. on the African continent, with over $25 billion in good trade and services between the U.S. and South Africa alone in 2022, according to the USTR office latest data. From the trading in such products such as diamond, copper, nickel, to agricultural products as well as automobile. Of course, we have American multinational companies that are based in South Africa that do their assembly in South Africa. To why South Africa also is known as one of American top tourist destination for its safari, as well as for its culture and its food, as I mentioned, with its wine. So trading and the relationship between the U.S. and South Africa, of course, South Africa is also a member of the G20 alliance, which the U.S. also is a member of. So the relationship between the U.S. and South Africa goes way back. Last year, the President Ramaphosa was in Washington, D.C. for a bilateral meeting with President Biden in the Oval Office. And earlier that day, he met with the Vice President, had a breakfast with the Vice President and the second gentleman at the Vice President's home, which is just a few blocks away from here. He also had met with the American private sector. This, of course, was before there was tension between the two countries through the ongoing war between Israel and Palestine, the ongoing war in Gaza. But now that we have a new government in place, election took place late May through June, and there's a new government in place now, a new fresh idea, as the minister told me during our interview. I had a chance to talk to them, to the new minister and the deputy minister, during their visit to the U.S. last week. They were part of the different delegations from across the continent of Africa, 32 ministers that attended the U.S. Africa AGOA forum that were hosted by the USTR Trade Representative Ambassador Catherine Tai and Secretary Blinken as well, at the State Department and also at the White House. At the private AGOA private forum hosted by the USTR, the State Department, the U.S. Institute of Peace and Corporate Council on Africa, I had a chance, as I mentioned, to talk to the minister and the deputy minister of trade on what a modernized AGOA should look like, as well as the South Africa trade relationship, and how to make AGOA more inclusive for the African continent. This is what both the minister and the deputy minister have to say. So, Mr. Minister, you just spoke at the forum of the AGOA forum. Last year, you held this forum in South Africa. What is your takeaway from this forum, and what are you what your message to America, to the Congress and the Biden-Harris administration regarding the AGOA renewal?
Well, firstly, I think it's important to acknowledge that as South Africa hosted AGOA last year, there's been significant progress in the discussions, and a lot of the issues that were raised are being incorporated into the current draft. We're looking at ensuring that we continue to convince colleagues at Congress that it's important that we increase the tenure, but also that it's important that we look at how we improve the administrative systems linked to AGOA. And also that it is, in our opinion, an important way in which we can advance the implementation of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area and see the AGOA initiative as supplementary and complementary to the Africa Continental Free Trade Area.
This week with the AGOA, last year you guys held the event in South Africa. What are you looking forward to at this forum?
Well,
what do you hope to get out of it?
Well, at this forum, we're meeting with a number of stakeholders, including business. We've just come from a private sector forum now. We're engaging with African trade ministers. We're looking for new opportunities to strengthen our relationship with the United States through AGOA. We've heard from the Secretary Blinken, who spoke about modernizing AGOA. We're looking for areas where we can collaborate to strengthen. We're aware of the challenges that have existed over the last couple of years between South Africa and the United States. But the sentiment has been really positive. We have a new government of national unity in South Africa. I think this is a tremendous opportunity to build on the positive sentiment. And so far, we've had really good reception from all stakeholders in Washington.
Okay. We are the business sector forum for AGOA. Visa, as the representative, have been doing business in Africa. Why is AGOA important to trade between the U.S. and Africa?
Well, thank you for the question. It's important on many levels. It creates a great anchor of the economic relationship. And of course, it gives a foundation for the future of trade. And we think we're at a pivotal moment in terms of the renewal because of what the future can look like, particularly from accessing the digital and services side to drive greater economic opportunity across the continent of Africa. So we're very excited about the renewal efforts in the Congress of the United States and also what that can mean in terms of implementation in Africa.
One of the hurdles between doing business in Africa is payment system, which you deal with. Talk about some of the challenges that you're seeing and how you're working to eliminate those challenges as we look at the AGOA renewal, as well as the administration and Congress calling for more engagement with Africa regarding trade.
Yeah, I think on the digital payments side, really it's about how you access one market across Africa and developing standardization and cross-border data flows that allow consumers and businesses to transact very easily within the continent. Right now there's just barriers to that, regulatory barriers, restrictions on data in terms of what you can do and how you can process things. So to really have a unified market, having really strong digital trade rules will help facilitate that and create an immense economic opportunity for Africa.
Okay, so what do you think, we are at a very critical moment in American history. And we have a new administration that will be coming in. So what is your view of the U.S. economic right now?
Well, I'd say, across the board, Africa is just a critical, priority for the United States of America, regardless of the administration, regardless of which, party's in power. And I see that continuing, and certainly our company feels that way because of the unique strengths that the United States can contribute to Africa and vice versa. So we're very optimistic about what the future looks like.
What will you, at the end of this forum, this 3 days forum, what will you like that the forum will accomplish for the private sector, for your business?
Well, I would say at the end of the conference, we really hope there's momentum and excitement for the renewal, and it creates, movement on Capitol Hill to really advance that in an expeditious way. So,
okay, thank you very much for talking with me. Thank you.